guess the only way to do this video is just to hit record. I keep thinking about the time I was 7 years old. It's gonna be hard for me. I was just a baby. We didn't have much at our house. We came from a poor family, and so what we did have was hard to come by. We didn't have candy like other kids did. It was a treat for us, and family members knew. Other people, of course, we weren't isolated, you know. So there was this man that knew our family. It was my brother's friend. We were at the park pool, and it was in the evening. It was almost time to go home. Me and two of my other siblings, my other brothers, we were at this park pool, and we were swimming when we weren't supposed to, and nobody else was there. And I guess he knew that we were there. He had seen us, and we knew him from the neighborhood, and we knew him from our family. And he took his car. It was a Camaro. I can remember it was just like yesterday. I can remember the smell of the interior of that car. It was red leather interior, and he went and blowed his horn and told me to come on. So I went. I mean, I knew him. The other boys that were swimming, they didn't pay attention. And he told me, "I'll go get you some candy if you get in the car." No, I went. Biggest mistake of my life. He took me to the candy store. He got me candy as he promised. And from there, he took me to what they call the Flats in Cleveland. He raped me over and over and over again. Took me from one place to the next, and then to his home. He held a gun to my head and said he would kill me. I was afraid of him. Afraid he was going to tell my brother, and I didn't know back then there was stranger danger, and he wasn't a stranger. And after hours, it was almost 4 o'clock in the morning, he let me go home. Told me get out. I guess he was done. It hurts, this memory. And I can't keep it inside. I have to tell somebody. And this whole Epstein thing, it reminds me when that happened. We moved back to the east side in Cleveland. I'm from Cleveland, big city. Moved back to the east side. And I grew up on the east side, west side, east side, west side. What they call the south side, north side, whatever. We grew up still poor, but I found a way to make money. I found that you could get cans and bottles and pick them up, and so I went to the bars, and I would go and I would hunt cans, and one of my older brothers, we found copper and we found aluminum, and that was a little bit more money, so we would take that copper and burn it and shred it off, the plastic off of it, and take it and sell it. That was my way of making money. So what I'm trying to say is we lived a very, very hard life. Mom got welfare and Dad was working his own thing. He was working construction, and Dad didn't stay home. They were separated. On again, off again. So here I am growing up a teenager, and I have scoliosis in my spine. I had surgery on my spine when I was 14, and the doctors forced my mother. We moved from the east side to the west side, and then we moved to West Virginia, and then welfare came and was getting ready to take us away, and we moved back to Cleveland, and it was just running pretty much our whole lives. So the welfare caught up to my mom and told her, hey, this child, she needs health care. My mom was religious, and she believed that God was going to heal me, and I believed it, and she had me believing it, and I didn't know, so I believed it. And so here I am, a teenager, and welfare came in, took me to a group home on the west side. I went to school from the group home, but they forced me to have the surgery. The state of Ohio forced me to have the surgery. In a way, it was a good thing because it probably saved my life. But it hurt me mentally, it hurt me. Because I thought God would do this for me. I believed so hard. I was in prayer line after prayer line, and God's gonna do this. He'll make a way. And it was be like Job, be like Job. Believe and receive, And I believed in my whole heart that God was going to do it. But anyway, back to this Epstein thing. It was like, when I was 14 going through that, and I was in the group home, I met these girls. We were in a group home with a bunch of girls, you sit around and you talk about what family was and what family wasn't, These girls, they, $20 and they were happy, And this whole Jeffrey Epstein thing, he took advantage of those girls, It wasn't just the ones that was in the group home. It was from displaced mothers and displaced fathers and split up families. And these girls, they didn't No, and they were like, okay, this guy's got $500. Let's go. He just wants us to come in there and massage this old man. I was like, okay, let's go massage him. You know, hey, we get $500. So, and I'm not saying they were in the wrong, because they were just trying to make a buck. And probably homes of poverty, and some maybe in homes that were rich, and mommy cut off their allowance, and okay, they got to find a way to make money again, so they do it. But during these massages, okay, wait, the only thing you have to do is go in there and massage him. You don't have to worry about nothing else. Nobody's gonna bother you. Ghislaine will be here. I'll be here. Nothing's gonna happen. Yeah. So you're in this room and you're massaging this guy, this old guy. For what? For $500, $200, $300, whatever. And then he decides he's gonna do something else. He went too far. Can't tell mom, because mom's gonna be pissed because you're there. What if the teachers found out you were doing this? You know? What if your counselor, you were ruined. You didn't have no future. No future. None. You were done for. So yeah. You kept it quiet. You kept it quiet. I mean, the person that raped me and kidnapped me when I was 7 was supposed to get 25 years. But were we moved? Mom didn't get the notification that he was up for parole. 2 years. That's what he got. 2 years. So he was happy and lived his own life. I gotta cut this one, and I'll add more. Okay, so here's part 2. So anyway, these girls, they do what they have to do, and the guys, okay, let's talk about Jeffrey Epstein. He grew up in Coney Island. So yeah, it's from a poor neighborhood. He's gonna bust ass to make money, right? Okay. Somehow, don't know how, don't know who hired him or what, but he got this job at this posh K through 12 school. Rich school. Rich kids, rich parents send their kids there. K through 12. They have all the academics. They have way more than what I had when I was growing up. So yeah. These kids they paid $3,200 and now it's $50,000 to send your kid there. That tells you how much has changed as far as money goes, but their parents paid for them to be there. These are rich parents, you know, they're having parties every weekend, hosting other rich people, hosting actors, hosting Wall Street people, okay? They rich themselves, so yeah, they're gonna have these little posh parties and you're in the clique, you're in the know. If you ain't, then you're poor, you're a piece of shit. So, yeah. So they have these parties, and somehow Jeffrey Epstein managed to weasel his way into that school. So he's teaching them. Wasn't the best teacher in the world, so. And you gotta remember, this was when William Barr's daddy, yeah, the Attorney General, former Attorney General, William Barr's daddy, was Dean. He was Dean. But yeah, there's a lot of people involved that you don't think about this. Alan Greenberg, Alan Dershowitz. A lot of people came from this Dalton school. It's K through 12, Dalton school. So you got to think, all these rich people sending their rich kids to school. And Jeffrey Epstein, right in the middle of it. Here he is, teaching these kids. And back then in the 70s and the 80s, there was no Me Too. So if a teacher come up and done anything untoward towards you, you're in this rich school, he could get you kicked out. So you don't say anything. Even though your mom and dad's rich, no, you don't say anything. Nope, you keep your mouth shut. So they did it for their education, number one, and their reputation, number two. These girls were being led on by Jeffrey Epstein. And not only the ones in the school, he was taking advantage. He met Ghislaine Maxwell. Him and Ghislaine Maxwell was recruiting these little girls. You know, I don't even know what the youngest would have been. These are teenagers, high schoolers, recruiting these young girls, doing what they wanted with them. And then they had their rich friends. Jeffrey Epstein was in with the rich crowd now. He made his way up the ladder and he was living high off the hog. $77 million mansion back then. You can imagine how much it's worth now. So he made it his way up the ladder, and now he's got all these rich guys. Okay, so he's got these girls coming to his home. Give them $500. They're fine with it. So he decided he was going to start taking disparaged girls. Ones from broken homes, or the dad had died, or whatever the case may be. These girls, they were out for the money. They were out for their careers. He told them, hey, I know this guy over here. I can get you in if you do this for me. But don't tell anybody. Because if you tell somebody, you're ruined. You don't have no career. You're done for. I know your daddy. What if your daddy found out you were here? Yeah. What if your mama found out? All your friends in school? Yeah. So they did it. Once they were in, they were in. It sucked. And there was no way of getting away from him when this pervert on the table you're trying to massage decides he wants to go even further. Get up on the table with me. What do? You tell him no and run out? If you did, you're ruined. Jeffrey's got all of this shit on video. He's got all of the shit on video. These were high-profile cases. It's rumored that Clinton was there. It's rumored that Trump was with them, doing it. There's a lot of rumors flying around, so guess what? Jeffrey still had videos. I'm not saying to release those videos entitled, you can blur the girl's face out, whatever. And these victims, they would want their accuser prosecuted. So why wouldn't you want those tapes released? So here I am sitting thinking about what happened to me with the candy, and I was taken advantage of by someone that I knew. And I'm thinking, all these girls that took advantage of somebody, maybe they knew by acquaintance, maybe their family knew them, whatever. So Jeffrey Epstein, the client list, you can't tell me there's not a list. He knew all of these people. And he knew thousands of people, rich people. So, is Prince Andrew involved? Is the Saudi Arabian king involved? You know, there was so many people on that Lolita Express. You know what Lolita is? Lolita is a prostitute. Put two and two together. Lolita and Express. Prostitute car. Prostitute plane. This is what Jeffrey Epstein's mind was thinking. What the hell? Why would he name his plane that? Who's involved? Who? And if you are involved in his bullshit, you need to be prosecuted to the fullest extent. Not just 2 years like my rapist got. I'm being real. You should be ashamed of what you did to those children. You've ruined their lives. They had to think about what they did with you, their whole lives. How many times did they have to do that to get by? Because you and your some sick, perverted bullshit that you wanted some kind of fantasy. This pretty young little girl rubbing all over me. You sick fuck. Yeah. This is directly aimed at whoever. And as far as Trump hiding this list, Pam Bondi saying, "Oh, it's on my desk." Well, if it's on your desk, then you should be able to show it, right? Mega, where the hell are you? Why ain't you speaking? Saying, "Hey, where's the list?" Release the list. Release it. Let's get this done and over with. Let's see who was involved. And if they done something wrong, then fine. Prosecute their ass. I don't give a shit if they're Democrat, Republican, Independent. It don't matter to me. Green Party, whatever. Let's do it. Because if you don't, you are condoning it. If you don't release it, Mr. Trump, you are condoning it. That means you was part of it, and you're trying to cover that shit up. Yeah, I'm mad. Because of all these little girls that tried to get by. Oh, they was just, oh, no. They was just using Epstein for his money. Oh, honey. No. They were desperate. You know what desperation is? Desperation. You'd do anything for a buck when you're poor. Why you think that there is prostitutes? They don't do that for the kicks. They do that for the lifestyle, for the money. And honey, they go through all kinds of shit Trust me, I seen some in the group home. Young girls. I'm not telling you this just to be telling you this. I'm telling you this because I know how it feels to be used, to be abused. I'm tired of girls being abused. Why would you allow this to go on? Release the list. Prosecute. I don't give a shit who it is. Prosecute them. They're sick. Sick-minded. Let's talk about sick. You have murderers, serial killers, and you can't figure out why. Well, guess what? You got predators too. And you can't figure out why. But they still need prosecuted to the fullest. And if the one sitting in the White House keeps hiding it, that means he's either covering for somebody or himself. Let's do it. Let's release it. Now, let's prosecute. Open the files. I want to know who